hugging somebody. Yeah, I think my
they have to start phasing out artificial grass because they worked out the black bees and shit cause cancer. But in Europe, they've started phasing it out. No, there's something in there, some chemical that's cancer inducing. Like they've worked out all these doctors who've been playing medical advice and now got cancer. And they're like, oh fuck. It's something in those black bees. I think it's because it's on their skin, like when you do slide tackles.
Yeah, that
yeah.
But a lot of things get absorbed, like it gets in your food through your skin.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is.
I was never...
Built a toxin.
No.
Right?
I'm avoiding the kids the only 10 a week.
Yeah, my parents do. But their one's a big episode.
So it started out.
You don't need it. Yeah, that's what my parents got. Yeah, so that one's fine. That one's fine. Like one that's cancer. Yeah. So if you go to Riddle,
So, core, actually pork trees.
yeah, so if you go to Riddle's Creek, there's an actual pork tree there. Yeah.
And, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Then you think about it, you use
Actually, back in like, yeah,
like 18,
16,
yeah. When they first started making wine. Yeah, when they first started making wine.
Oh, you guys...
You had experience with it?
No. I've done like...
Well, you said you played...
Yeah, I've done league and basketball, but never done football. Yeah.
Round 8 continues in NPL Victoria. We are at Hume City Stadium on a rather pleasant Saturday evening. Hume City hosting Moreland City in this Round 8 clash. Adam Sarikoglu and Simon Rathbone with you on the coverage here on NPL TV. Simon, you've seen Hume a bit already this year. They've been fun to watch. Moreland have lost all 7 league games so far this year. It's a big night for the visitors.
Yeah, stark contrast between these two sides, 2024 campaigns. Hume, of course, high-flying, the pointy end of the table, while, like you touched on, Moreland still looking for their very first points of the competition. They had a good win in the Australia Cup during the midweek, a 5-1 win over Chelsea, so they'll be hoping they can continue that momentum and try and cause an upset here at Hume City Stadium, while Hume unchanged after their big 7-1 win over the Albion Rovers. So they scored plenty of goals. They scored 12 goals in their past 2 games. So this Hume City side flying and full of confidence. A big mountain to climb for Moreland this evening.
It's been a big weekend already in NPL Victoria. Had the Easter break and Australia Cup break, of course, over the last weekend. So we're back with the league action. Dandenong Thunder hosting South Melbourne. That kick-off will be in a half hour from now. So a double-header on this Saturday evening. Simon, some team news for both. I believe Hume might be having the same 11 that they had last time out.
Yeah, stuck with the winning formula. Jackson Riley in goals. The right back, Mark Otching. The centre-back pairing of Ashcroft and Maricic. And Lockie Weir in the left-back. In the midfield, Oscar Carlson, Josh O'Kane. And then joined by Josh Bingham. 2 goals in his past 2 games. And then the front line of Abdallah, Platt and Isgrove. No doubt caused plenty of headaches for the Moreland outfit here this evening. The away side, Condeleon stays in goal. Ali, Sacides, Thomas and Spall make up the back line, while A-Rob, Waters, Diego Cuba in the midfield. And up front, Fulton, Sands and Targeth as we get underway. And Moreland with first use of the football in this Round 8 NPL Victoria clash. Abdallah's pass just wayward of Otching as to go back and collect. In their league fixtures, Dandenong City had a 2-1 win over Moreland. Moreland playing at home in that occasion. While for Hume, they had a strong 5-2 win over the Melbourne Knights at Knights Stadium just under 2 weeks ago. Abdallah down this right-hand side. Plenty of speed to burn. He's got Bingham trotting forward. Whips in a dangerous ball, looking for Isgrove, an early chance, tries to chest it down, and Isgrove! It took a matter of minutes, and this Hume City train keeps rolling on. It's their 2 big-name players, Abdallah and Isgrove combining. Both of those players, NPL Victoria Player of the Month recipients to start this season. And Moreland's night off to a nightmare start.
Lloyd Isgrove. I mean, we've already said so much about this arrival for Hume City. He has scored 5 goals already in NPL Victoria. And he's done it again in the first minutes, if you don't mind. A 5th goal already for the Hume City striker. And already, as you mentioned, Simon, some early headaches for Moreland City. David Ostajic already with plenty to think about and a deficit to deal with on the scoreboard. Did get that win in the Australia Cup against Chelsea last night. Always looks good on the record, doesn't it? A 5-1 win against Chelsea, of course. Not that Chelsea. It's, you wonder if a result like that can just run you into some league form. But they're already on the back foot. It's Matt Spall here. Condolian couldn't keep a clean sheet for more than a minute here. Was a one-on-one, though, against one of the better strikers in the league. There's a chance here for Moreland. Speaking of one-on-ones, taken down in the area of Sands. And we have a penalty, and that is a straight red card, is it? Pashalis Natas has flashed a card. And Simon, it did look red from here. I think Jackson Riley's being sent off here with a penalty kick to come.
Well, what an action-packed first couple of minutes. It was a mistake from Maricic, allowed Sands in behind and just jinked off his right foot, and Riley came plunging out, made contact with the striker. And the Chilean earns his side a penalty and a chance to tie this game right up. And Hume in a massive hole now. Jackson Riley sent off inside the opening couple of minutes. And Aaron Arslan, who started a few league games, now with the duties between the sticks. So it'll force a reshuffle to David Chick's side.
Now the conversation's being had right now between Pashalis Natas and one of his assistants. There's talk on the sidelines here of potentially an overturning of the red. Whether or not that's even allowed.
Well, from where we were watching, it appeared like it was a blatant penalty, but the red card was shown. Whether that call will stand. So the call overturned, much to the relief of Jackson Riley and the Hume City fans. Yellow card the call. Probably a fair call given the circumstances, and Jackson Riley can take a somewhat momentary sigh of relief. He's got a penalty kick to defend right now.
All right, so we're 5 minutes in, but we've only seen about 3.5 minutes of that, or 3 minutes of action. We've seen a goal at one end, a penalty at the other, a goalkeeper red carded as a result of that foul. We'll see what happens here. It's Sands, and he misses, and it's saved by the man who thought he may have been sent off, Jackson Riley. So just to cap all that off, Simon, a goal at one end, Moreland's first real possession at the other. Sands gets taken down in the area. Penalty. Red card becomes a yellow card. Penalty is then saved. We've got a corner here. And Hume City will probably get away with this. Hard to find a more dramatic start to an NPL Victoria game in recent memory than all of that. And what we've just seen here already. Now there's a chance for Targeth. And that's going to be well off target in the end for Thomas.
Golden opportunity there for Jose Sands. He scored last week in the 67th minute. Riley guessed the right way. Fully outstretched to his left to deny the Chilean who'd earned his side the penalty. Like he touched on Adam, what a hectic start to this round 8 clash. So Riley from villain to hero in the matter of minutes. Lofts it long. O'Kane wrestling for in the midfield. Maricic coming forward to collect. Almost intercepted by Thomas. Falls kindly for Bingham. Abdallah on the right. Back to Bingham. Tries to whip a ball in the middle there for Gillespie, who looks to have come into the starting side. A late change. Oscar Carlson making way, it seems. My apologies, Carlson is out there in the midfield. So Gillespie's started a number of games this season, back into the starting role once again. More pressure for Moreland as Hume ready to take a corner. Moreland came unstuck from a corner in last week's loss. Flicked on there by Isgrove. Ball will be sent back in Abdallah's way for take two. So it's Mikel Platt that makes way for Gillespie, the Englishman. Abdallah to deliver. In at the near post. Cleared by Thomas as far as O'Kane. Abdallah looks to get past Thomas. Thomas goes to ground. Abdallah weaving his way through traffic. Poke free there by Arob. Hume setting up camp around the Moreland goal. Abdallah delivers. Almost falls kindly there for Isgrove. Now Moreland on the counter. Weir coming across to snuff out the danger. Well, what's been a difficult season hasn't been the dream start that Moreland would have been looking for, looking to try and continue on that momentum, that early goal, immediately putting them on the back foot.
We know Hume have been engaged in a lot of high-scoring affairs so far this season. Both meetings between these two last year also seeing a lot of goals. There were 5 in the meeting here, a 3-2 win for Hume City. And then in the return fixture, a 5-2 win for Hume at Moreland. So by my count, that's 12 goals in the 2 meetings at league level last year between these two. And already won with a missed penalty so far tonight. Things have just settled down now here at the Broadmeadows Valley Park. Searching ball, but there's a lot on it there for Tarjeth. There wasn't going to be much he could do with it. Ali will take this ball for Moreland. Everyone's a little bewildered as to exactly what Pashalis Natas saw there, but clearly saw something that resulted in the Hume City foul. He's already been in the thick of it, obviously, as well. Was really keen to flash the red card out for Jackson Riley in that incident that resulted in the missed penalty. That got overturned back to yellow. Fair to say, he's well and truly now on caution. So Moreland City with the traditional 4-4-2 at the moment. This ball is searching for Tarjeth and just coming out in time, Jackson Riley in the end. And now we're looking at the ever-reliable Lockie Weir. Searching ball for Bingham. Did take a Moreland touch. It actually stayed in. We're there to recollect for the hosts. Isgrove. And it's a neat ball for Carlson. The cross. Not so good. And easily taken away from Moreland.
Despite the tough run of results that Moreland have had this year, 4 of those 7 losses have actually been 1-0 defeats. So at times they haven't conceded all that many goals, but from what we've seen in the opening exchanges, a goal inside first minute, a missed penalty. We'll have to show plenty of resilience here this evening against the Hume side. You know, will continue to look to push forward and apply the pressure. Saw them score 5 goals against the Melbourne Knights in their last league game. Cuba brought to ground by Carlson. Cuba looks to go aerial. Ashcroft heads it to his centre-back partner in Maricic. O'Kane brought to ground by Fulton. side that's only scored the 2 goals this season, just how crucial that Jose Sands penalty miss be. Isgrove tried to find Ochieng, skewed off the side of his boot, and as a result Riley had to come across in cover and send it back long the other way. McCain just had it poked free there by Sands. Ochieng takes on Fulton, but Fulton strong defensively.
Abdallah. Now we up. Oscar Carlson perhaps just trying to slow the tempo down a touch. Maricic at the back, as always, for Hume City. This is okay. Hume will play the patient game for the moment. We are looking to press, but there's Chardia Tarjeth right there in his face. As now they look to advance. Isgrove again, just did not get there in time. Instead it was Cuba for Moreland City. Now we're looking at Spall. Tarjeth to his right. Gets onto that left peg. Cleared back out by Ochieng. Weir loses out to Tarjeth. Wants to get back onto that left side. Does so now. Potential head clash here, but I think everyone's okay inside the area. Now it's Cuba. Easy pickings from Maricic. Tsitsides, who did score twice in that Australia Cup win against Chelsea last week. More than a week now. It was Easter Thursday fixture, that one, the day before Good Friday. So decent break for both sides since then. Bingham thought about going to him. He decides to go himself. It takes a deflection all the way through to the gloves of Condolian.
Hume just need to stay alert here defensively. Despite Moreland's struggles in front of goal this season, they've been lively, creating a number of chances in the attacking third. A couple of slip-ups from the Hume back line. It's the mistake from Maricic that resulted in the Sands penalty as he broke away and was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Touched on that Arslan featured in a number of league games after Riley went down with injury. Riley will be desperate to try and keep a clean sheet here. The ball almost threaded through there for Sands. Isgrove finds him in a deep position. Ball thread forward here for Bingham. Tries to cross it in the direction of Gillespie. Now Moreland look to take it back the other way. Tarjeth. Spall. Cuba looks to go long once again, looking for Fulton. Fulton, their top goal scorer from last year, 5 goals to his name. A campaign that saw them narrowly avoid relegation. Play halted momentarily. Abdallah on the deck. Well, it's certainly been a entertaining start to the new reign under David Chick. Last time out in the NPL Victoria, that 5-2 win over Melbourne Knights. Had all sorts of drama, goals in the early moments, and then a goal for Lloyd Isgrove inside the opening 90 seconds here this evening. A red card shown to the goalkeeper before that call was overturned to just a yellow, and Riley then coming up and denying Sands from the spot.
Zumanelli, that was also down for Moreland, by the way, Simon, as well. He should be able to come back on. Amir Abdullah will probably be okay as well. They're actually both teams down a man now as play did get halted, but we'll resume now.
O'Kane for Bingham once again. Gillespie. Watching, scored the first half of that Australia Cup win. Isgrove almost had it poked free there by Targeth. Legally so, according to the referee. Gillespie combining with Bingham once again. Bingham trying to return the favour. Isgrove trying to find Weir on the left-hand side. Intercepted too far in front of Sands. Maricic goes all the way back to Riley. Hume looking to rack up some time of possession as Abdallah goes long to Bingham. He's been a threat moving forward already in this contest. Gillespie looking to get it onto his right-hand side, and it's fired just wide. Gillespie looking to make a statement after being a late inclusion to the starting 11 this evening.
So we start again from the back with Condolian. Watters played back toward that central midfield area, and this ball has been able to find its way through. National equaliser. Chardia Targeth with the equaliser for Moreland City. That'll make the amends for the missed penalty. We're back to square at the Valley.
Yeah, Moreland deserved that goal, despite what was a chaotic first couple of minutes. They haven't dropped their head, continue to push forward. I touched on Hume looking a little bit vulnerable defensively. And just a nice ball threaded through there, and Targeth with the clean finish. And he grabs his first goal for the 2024 campaign. Hume City put on notice as they look to try and find a response. Moreland had their 29 goals last season. They've only got the 3 to their name this year. They'll be hoping to add to their tally as they look to try and hit the front for the first time after that early goal to Lloyd Isgrove. Gillespie, Abdallah 1-2. Gillespie with room to move, feeds it forward. Abdallah looking for an immediate response. Spall there to cover for Moreland. Heavy contact there for Weir. He gets back up. Quickly whips the ball back in. Abdallah forced to retreat. Corey Thomas there to mop up for Moreland.
Never a dull moment at Hume City, especially in season 2024. Does feel like there was a good solid little block of 10 minutes where Moreland City was on top in this game, and they've been able to put it onto the scoreboard and snuff out that first minute strike from Lloyd Isgrove. It'll be a Moreland throw here. Rob. Spall. And here's the goal scorer, Chadia Targeth. Sends it in. That's another dangerous ball, but Jackson Riley was right there in the end for Hume. The man who's been both red carded and yellow carded, but he's still out here, believe it or not, with the red card overturned. Then followed up by saving the penalty kick. Now, just a half moment there for Galevsky. Had another opportunity a couple of minutes earlier. Mark Ocheng will send this ball in. Galevsky back to Ocheng, but no room to work with here. Plenty of white kits around him, and the numbers win out for Moreland. Ali got pickpocketed. Luckily there was some help there. Tsoutsidis. Contact. There's another Moreland player who might be Sands that's in a fair bit of pain over near the sideline. I think it's Lloyd Isgrove that's on the deck as well at the moment. He gets up, but we've got a more pressing injury concern out on that outer side. I did see the number 9 of Jose Sands. He's the man that's down.
Just ran to the shoulder there of Mark Ocheng, forcing the 27-year-old to the deck. Back on his feet now, which is a good sign for Moreland fans and for Jose Sands. Stark contrast between these two teams' season. 3 points equally valuable as Hume look to try and keep in touch the top of the table with South Melbourne, while Moreland look to try and reel in the Altona Magic, who are ahead of them on 4 points. Targeth trying to pin Weir in a corner. Maricic, nice driving ball through the midfield. Hume away. Abdallah. Well defended there by Ali. Big job on his hands this evening, defending the NPL Victoria Player of the Month, Amir Abdallah. Scored 2 fantastic goals against the Melbourne Knights. Ali will have to be at his very best defensively to try and minimise his impact. Abdallah already registering the assist for that earlier Isgrove goal. Abdallah, far post, wrestling for it. It's bobbling around and eventually Condeleon comes out to collect. Thought about releasing quickly, eventually goes out in this right-hand side. Once again, Moreland looking to go through the aerial pursuit. Looking to utilise the speed of Fulton and Sands up front. Plenty of height in this Hume City backline with Maricic and Ashcroft. From a Moreland City perspective, they'd be quite happy with how they've started this contest. Despite that missed penalty, they've been holding their own in the midfield, creating opportunities for their front three. Dalla finds himself in the central role. Whips the ball out to Weir. Cuts back in. Feeding it through. Pass a little bit too heavy, forcing Abdallah to reel it in. He's then shut down, and now Spall brings it back the other way.
Gets chopped down, and that again happened right in front of Shalis Nartis, and it will be a yellow card for Lockie Weir. Didn't have to think too hard about that one. Shalis Nartis. There's 2 yellows for the night now for Hume. Jackson Riley being the other one. Sport gets back up on his feet. We resume here at the Valley. And here is Spall. Had plenty of time to make his decision. It was a little too direct out in front of Jackson Riley in the end. Carlson for Hume City. Maricic. O'Kane. Notching. Now they press Hume. Got around the first man, Notching, then plays back. Bingham left it behind. Collected by Isgrove. Tried to wheel around to potentially fire away. Played the unselfish game. Gilevsky. Now Isgrove. Looping ball over the top for Bingham. Conzoli in there for Moreland City.
Once again, Moreland coming up with the answers. All the threats that Hume are posing. Targeth set sail for that long ball there from Spall. Riley coming out of his box to clear the danger. Spall with the throw-in duties. Looking to go long. Now Gillespie. Isgrove. O'Kane. Chips it forward. Coming through there was Sacides. Abdallah. O'Kane, an under 23s graduate here at Hume City. Picking up big minutes in the midfield this season. Ochieng asked to go back and take the throw. Or perhaps it could be a Moreland one. Sands lays it off. Moreland continuing to show bright spots in this first half. Posing plenty of questions with this Hume City backline. Numbers begin to flood into the box.
Second ball.
Cuba with the set-piece duties. Moreland looking for their second. Whips it in, and it was a slight touch there from Riley to keep it out of the back of his net. Shaky moment there for the Hume keeper, but did enough to Punch away the danger. Rob. Sacides trying to find Fulton. 21-year-old unable to reel that ball in.
It was the quick reflex by Jackson Riley, wasn't it? Perhaps surprised that it had come through so quickly. He was up to the task. He had already made one save on that post, of course, with the missed penalty. Has been beaten once this evening, of course, with Targeth scoring an equaliser in the 22nd minute. Lloyd Isgrove right at the end of that first minute, opening up the scoring this evening. Isgrove with the first time ball, and it's effective for Golevsky, but it's an empty box at the moment. He wins the corner. Hume City have already had a few already this evening, especially from this side. Amir Abdallah again will take it. The big man Maricic just sneaking his way into the area. Bit of height about Harry Ascroft as well. He might be an option near the back post as well for Amir Abdallah to target. So it's another corner kick for Hume. Maricic parked near the near post as well. Half shot away from Ascroft, was snuffed out. Abdallah gets chopped down. And that's the time-wasting yellow, a really silly one. The ball was thrown away from the exact area where the free kick is going to be taken from. And Paschalis Narcis was having none of it. I think it was Diego Cuba taking the yellow card for time-wasting. And Abdallah with the free kick here. Dealt with at the front there by Thomas. Marcin got it from O'Kane. Neat move there by Abdallah. Wrong footing, one opponent. Has more to deal with now. Sneaking into the box. It's still Amir Abdallah bouncing off bodies here. Nothing comes of it in the end.
Yeah, some footwork from Abdallah causing some headaches down that left-hand side defensively for Moreland. Weaved his way through traffic before getting the shot away. Easy collect for Condolian. He touched on that yellow card for Diego Cuba. Moreland have had some issues with red cards this season. It's come back to haunt them in some contests. Just how costly will that caution be? As one of their key players in the midfield has to tread lightly for the remainder of this contest. Spall feeding it through. Targeth scored Moreland's first goal. Trying to get away from Ashcroft. Turning. Whips in a dangerous ball. Maricic there to head the ball away. Now Gillespie with a bit of time. Chips it in the direction of Isgrove, who goes over the head of Spall. Hume reset. Look to play it out from the back once again. Ashcroft. Canters forward past halfway. Bingham. Seen plenty of the ball in this first half. Josh Bingham. 2 goals in 2 games. Gillespie. Fired from distance. Ricocheting off the leg of Arob. And another Hume corner once again.
Hey, Tommy, let's go, make it fucking count. Get around the keeper!
Moreland conceded from a corner in their last game, I should say, against Dandenong City. Just failing to deal with it. The ball being bundled in. The duties defensively here. Crowded penalty area. Cries from the Moreland players that Abdallah taking a little practice shot at goal there. It's the same scenario as which Cuba was cautioned for. Their cries falling on deaf ears on this occasion.
David Osage is actually, again, cautioning Cuba not to cause another booking for Moreland. Rob now. Watters. Ball being told to keep it from the technical area. Targeth, the danger man. Falling on top of it. Jackson Riley again for Hume. And the quick release for OK. Threads one through to Amir Abdallah nicely. The other danger man out there. Booted it straight into Newman Ali though. Thomas. Charlie Atajov once more. Some neat work on Carlson until he dished off the pass. We've had a lot going on in this first half at Hume City. A 1-1 scoreline. That's not to mention the red turns yellow card resultant penalty that was missed. That also happened not long after the first goal of the game, scored by this man, Lloyd Isgrove. Was struggling to stay on side there initially. Was outnumbered as well. Targeth gets caught up with the lino. All's okay in the end. Cuba. Rob. Cuba's ball. How does that come off for Jose Sands? It's done well. Sands now. It's a neat ball back as well. Big chance here. Maricic was in the right spot though for Hume. Hume City will get away with it.
Just no numbers in the box there for Moreland. It was a nice ball played in for Sands. His ball was of equal quality, but after it took the deflection, there was only red shirts in there to deal with the ball. Moreland perhaps a little bit hesitant to push numbers forward, given the way that Hume can break through that midfield area. Just say Moreland would be pretty pleased with his first half performance. Been going to toe-to-toe with Hume in this first 45 minutes. Exchanging chances. We saw how Hume were able to dominate the midfield against the Melbourne Knights. That front three trio allowed too much time and space by the Knights' defensive line. Moreland, apart from that early blemish in the opening minutes, have done well defensively to try and shut down the likes of Isgrove and Bingham and Abdallah moving forward. Abdallah probably looking the best of the Hume City attack on that right wing. Oching skips free of one. Permanent fixture on that right back position, Mark Oching. 23 appearances last season, vice captain of the club. Plenty of experience in this back line of Ashcroft and Maricic. Maricic playing with Ashcroft at Dandy Thunder. Well, they both find themselves at Hume City nowadays.
Onside here is Lloyd Isgrove. Don't know if he was trying to chip something over the top for Weir or potentially Golevsky. It didn't come off either way. O'Kane regains Maricic. Carlson. Leaving it behind Ashcroft. Recovered. Now O'Kane. Weir. Okay, back to Carlson. They're just going to keep retreating here. Hume City. It's Harry Ashcroft. Ochieng. Carlson for Maricic. It's a sustained possession, this one for Hume. Maricic just fluffed one in the air, though. And that's where it comes unstuck. Jose Sands, did he slip out of play? Weir came in to apply some pressure. Sands maintains possession. Thomas got dispossessed. Bingham runs away with it for Hume. Amir Abdallah, Golevsky's the man in the area at the moment. Amir just gave himself some more room. Isgrove came in to help. It's Lloyd Isgrove, and a little touch is missed in the end by Bingham. Big chance to regain the lead. Goes begging for Hume.
It was a lovely interchange of passing there between Abdallah and Isgrove. Isgrove popping up on that right-hand side, and what a golden opportunity that was for the captain, Josh Bingham. Sort of the left foot just spraying wide. Golden opportunity to take a one-goal advantage heading into half-time. It's one that you expect Bingham to put into the back of the net. 76 goals in his Hume career. Coming off a 12-goal season last year. Like I said, he's had 4 goals in his past 2 games and unable to find the back of the net on that occasion. One player I've been impressed with in this first half is Josh O'Kane. Might not receive the plaudits of some of his more high-profile teammates. Constantly getting in there defensively, going from box to box for Hume City. No doubt an important cog in the machine for David Chick. Into first half stoppage time. Bingham wrestling for it. Abdallah back heel, well read there defensively by Moreland. Waters, formerly at Brunswick Juventus. Spall. 24-year-old plays it back in the path of Waters. Hotching's header sent off in the direction of Fletcher Fulton. And that brings this round 8 fixture, the first half, to a close. Hume City and Moreland FC, 1 goal apiece in this first half. It was an early goal to Lloyd Isgrove that opened Hume's account. A missed penalty by Jose Sands after Jackson Riley was initially branded the red card before that was overturned to a yellow card, and he came up with the save to deny the Chilean before Targeth scored Moreland's 3rd goal of the season to bring them level once again and put themselves well and truly in the picture as they head into the sheds. And we'll take a short break before we come back with all the second half action.
Nearly set to go with the second half here at Hume City Stadium, and it is 1-1 Lloyd Isgrove in the opening stages of the game, getting on the board. Shadia Tajeth then with the equaliser in the 22nd minute. And we're all square. Adam Sarikoglu and Simon Rathbone on the call this evening.
Big second half coming up. Moreland chasing their first points of the season. It was a bright start to this contest after that initial goal scored by Hume. Moreland applying pressure on Hume defensively. Their first goal scored by Shadia Tajeth. Hume City looking to wrestle back momentum and pick up the 3 points. They try and keep in touch with South Melbourne at the top of the table. Moreland are able to pick up the victory here tonight. Go a long way in them trying to chase down the Altona Magic, who are ahead of them on 4 points. The bottom end of the table. Bingham looking to replicate how they started the first half. Isgrove. Carlson almost chopped down there by Tajeth. Wrestling for it. Eventually loses that to Spall, but Isgrove gets it back. Carlson plays it back in the direction of the Welshman. Spinning around looking for options. Finds one in Abdallah, and his pass going all the way through to Condolian. Waters. Quiet start to the first half. Picked up his output towards the back end as the legs around him began to tire. Ali. Waters' ball intercepted there by Ashcroft. Lockie Weir misjudged the ball that led to the Jose Sands penalty. Went to go trap it on the half volley, and the ball slipped underneath his boot, allowed the Chilean to get in behind. Weir continues to wander forward in that left back position. Ashcroft allowed to go all the way, try a little 1-2. Centre back eventually loses out. Ashcroft scored in that Australia Cup win a week ago over the Albion Rovers. 6 different goal scorers in their clash for the hosts.
Mark Ocheng was one of them. Both these teams combined for 12 goals in the Australia Cup last weekend. Bingham. Mandela. Switching ball for Weir. One of a couple that are carrying a yellow card this evening. Isgrove looking to cut back. How's Croft? Ocheng. Mia Abdallah once more. There was a collision there between a couple of players. It ends up still with Amir Abdallah. And then he got taken pretty late in the piece. The ball popped up in the air. It's been blazed out in the end. There was a fair bit going on in all of that. With everyone back up on their feet. Michael Tsitsides was involved.
Gillespie having a crack at goal. He had 3 goals in his 7 appearances last season. It was a late change to the starting 11 here this evening. Raquel Platt making way. There's 2 goals for his name, both from the spot. Scored one against the Melbourne Knights and Green Gully early in the season. Gillespie with the number 10 on his back. Hume looked to push for their second goal. There's Gillespie trying to play back in the path of Isgrove. Spall positioned himself nicely and he's won the ball back for his side. Cuba. Watching, winning that duel with Fulton. Ineffective and allows Fulton to work his way forward, trying to weave his way through traffic. Eventually ran into a cul-de-sac. And now the experience of Otching looks to clear the danger. Gillespie looking to spin. Moreland once again allowed the time and space to go through their build-up play. That customary Hume City press not as effective this evening as it has been in previous clashes this season. Cuba allowing the ball to trickle out of play, the last touch coming off a Hume City player.
Humanelli to take the throw for Moreland. This one's finally poised at the moment. 1-1 at Broadmeadows Valley Park. Waters ball in. Easily taken by Jackson Riley. Didn't have to work too hard for that one. Isgrove. Weir. Look at the run being made by Amir Abdallah here, and he's onside. Amir Abdallah cuts in, then fires away! That is a beauty! Amir Abdallah does it again for Hume City, and they regain the lead.
Well, everything he touches turns to gold. That is top class from a man that is in some fine form. His 6th goal for the season. Now just the 1 goal behind Harry Sawyer for the leading goal scorer of the competition. And what a stretch of games he's having. That touch, sublime, and the finish, extraordinary. Hume, we know they love to score goals. 12 goals in their past 4 NPL Victoria matches. They're 17th for the season. And little Moreland could do for that moment of Abdallah magic. Moreland looking for a response. Sands has runners coming forward. Fulton tried to collect it.
Come on, Tommy! Sloppy, Tommy!
Ali had to go back and collect Waters. Abdallah cutting in on his left foot. He's done it time and time again. It's a death sentence for defenders to allow him to do so. And he delivered the capital punishment right there. Hume City restore their lead.
No goal! First thing!
The response after the first goal was pretty good by Moreland City. They have themselves a corner as we speak. Diego Cuba to take it. Looks like we are going to see a change from David Chick soon. Fletcher McFarlane, the man warming up for Hume City. Incoming ball. Isgrove will be on the ends of it for Hume. It's been a busy body all night long. Over the top for Weir. Slops that ball in nicely. Does Isgrove for Weir. Gillespie saw himself caught behind on that occasion. Newman Ali was there for Moreland. It goes all the way back to Condolian. Fletcher Fulton. Another Fletcher waiting to come on. And McFarlane for Hume, of course, as Moreland look to press on this right side. Ball incoming. It does fall to Sands in the end, but just slightly out of position. And that's all it took for the possession to be lost. Tsitsides back to the safety of Condolian. Gillespie wasn't far away. Watters. Too much on that ball for Fulton, although Otching didn't exactly deal with it. You get it back now. All is okay. Maricic with the first time volley. It's no man's land, really. Now up. Watters. Cuba did take a touch, but still a moment to deal with here. Play will be stopped. Flag had gone up.
I think the question on the NPL Victoria community, they're all wondering, does Amir Abdallah only score bangers? Will he ever have a tap in? A shank off the foot that trickles over the line? Because so far, his 6 goals this season have all been of the top most quality. Hume, they haven't been at their best tonight. Moreland, they've asked lots of questions, and it was just a moment of individual brilliance for that goal. Yet another Amir Abdallah moment that we'll be seeing on the highlights reel as McFarlane comes in and Gillespie gets a rest. Deciding tonight's match, McFarlane started in the centre-back position in round 1 before shifting into his more natural and preferred position in the midfield. So David Chick looking for some fresh legs as they go on this left-hand side. Strong tackle there from Spall. 24-year-old stripping Isgrove of possession. Rob's clearance goes as far as Otching. Weaves his way through 1, through 2. Contact there from Sacides. Play allowed to continue for Bingham. Hume players are pointing at Otching, who's on the turf. And eventually Bingham kicks the ball out of play. And a yellow card shown to the Moreland defender. So Michael Sacides, 23-year-old, is on a yellow card for that challenge on Mark Otching. Nice bit of play there from the right back as he skipped his way through traffic. It's the late change from Sacides sticking out the boot. So hopefully Mark Otching is all okay to resume play. Free kick will be taken in a dangerous area here for Hume City. Could be a pivotal challenge, as no doubt Amir Abdallah and Isgrove will step over this free kick in the coming moments. Fortunately, Otching back on his feet. So Moreland showing a nice moment of sportsmanship, giving the ball back to Hume City. Nice moment there from the visitors after Hume were forced to kick the ball out of play so that Otching could receive treatment. Long ball over the top, Otching and Bingham setting chase. Bingham brings it to ground, plays it forward for Otching, looking for a man in the middle. Heavy touch there from Isgrove, I should say. Carlson with the ball at his feet now. Takes it on, plenty of white jerseys in front of him. Fulton hits the deck once again. And this left-hand side they go. Weir. Isgrove. Turns on the afterburners. Skipping forward, a heavy ball through there as he tried to find his Swedish teammate in Oscar Carlson. So
Waters sends it wide. Targif the target of the ball. Gets it again from Thomas. Surrounded by Red. And a cheap turnover, and Bingham is out here. Abdullah made his run to score that goal on this side. This time didn't quite have the same amount of space. Tried to combine with Bingham. Nothing of it in the end. Targif just conceding a bit of ground as Moreland look to use this broadcast side of the pitch. Newman Ali. Fulton around Ochieng, and Fulton makes his advance. And the ball is a very nice one! And that was just as impressive. Jose Sands, it was the setup and the ball from Fulton that made it relatively easy in the end for Sands, and it's 2-2 at Hume City.
Lovely bit of build-up play there from Moreland. Just holding possession. It was Fulton, he just drove in between Abdallah and Ochieng. He was allowed to work forward, and it was a lovely ball for his Chilean teammate, and Sands makes it 2 goals in 2 games for the 27-year-old. Hume City just allowing Fulton the time and space to wander forward, not shutting him down. Left the front door wide open and he invited himself in. And now Hume find themselves level with Moreland. And after scoring 2 goals in their first 7 games, Moreland have 2 goals in 1 game. Attack finally clicking into gear for the men in white this evening.
The Hume lead lasted only 9 minutes. They have actually led for a half hour of game time this evening. That's half of it. Right now we're looking at a level ball game, as it was at the half. One of those ones that it's often a cliche at times, but you can't take your eyes off it at the moment. Weir was fouled. Not overly happy with how he was treated. Wanted to get on with things as well. Some shenanigans all round. And I'm not sure what exactly Jose Sands was thinking there. Now he's arguing his case with Michelis Nartis. The cries of walk away from David Ostajic. I'd say 1 yellow card in the first half for time wasting. And after all of that, we'll see what happens from the free kick. It's Ashcroft that has it.
Moreland, they've well and truly deserved this 2-2 scoreline. They've worked hard tonight, especially through the midfield. Haven't been overawed by the occasion. That goal inside the first minute could have easily let the game get away from them. Brought themselves back not once but twice. As we head into the final third of this contest, in a great position to potentially come away with the full 3 points. Have to watch their discipline as Cuba, Sands find themselves on the yellow card. They've lost players to red cards this season. It's come back to haunt them in the dying stages, and when points are at a premium, discipline will be at the top of the to-do list. Ostasic's men. Maricic had to work it forward. Bingham. Carlson feeds it through. Isgrove down the left-hand side, try to feed it in. Coming across to cut it out with Sacides. His ball straight to the path. Carlson, it forces a good save. Conde Leon, and it's a penalty. And a red card. Well, I touched on that discipline just mere moments ago. And Michael Sasides, as Carson was brought to ground inside the box. It was the weak clearance, went only as far as the path of Oscar Carlson, the Swede, who swooped on the ball. And then after he got his shot away, Michael Sasides came clattering in and given his marching orders a second yellow. Well and truly put the commentator's curse on Moreland City right there, and now a big moment for Alex Condeleon. Made the initial save from Carson's effort. That's Lloyd Isgrove, the Welshman, looking for his second goal tonight, up against Alex Condeleon. Five goals already this season for Isgrove. Lloyd Isgrove for Hume, and he delivers. And the goals continue to rain down under the new rain. A moment Moreland would want to forget. Lloyd Isgrove converts from the penalty spot. And after Moreland fought so hard to get themselves back on level terms, Hume hit the front once again.
It's now the same scoreline we had between these two at this venue last year. That's with still nearly a third of the game to come. Tucked in by Lloyd Isgrove. That right post at that end has seen a lot of action this evening, hasn't it? From the penalty spot and some other key saves and goals as well. So for the third time tonight, Hume City leads. The first two were snuffed out by equalisers by Moreland City. The last lead lasted only 9 minutes. But now, Moreland City is down a man. And they'll be chasing a deficit. With a deficit on the pitch in terms of personnel. It's the second time we've seen the red card come out tonight. It's the first official one, I suppose. It's the second one this year for Tsitsides as well. So he'll be out of action next week in what is a huge game, hosting Manningham United at the bottom of the table. Knowing how big that game could be in the relegation battle, that could really hurt Moreland City. Hume City will be hosting Dandy City on Saturday evening. Back-to-back home games for Hume. Waters just holds up. Has to find the escape hatch with O'Kane on him. Did go back to Thomas. Now, it was about to, didn't exactly favour Sands up against Ashcroft. It's up for grabs at midfield. Moreland ball. Thomas. Cuba going back to Arop. Out wide we go. Spall looking to work his magic on Lloyd Isgrove. Long range throw, tried to find Sands. It's Targeth, scorer of Moreland City's first goal this evening. Spoke earlier with the fact that both meetings between these two were high scoring last season. It's happened again here. Right now, the exact same scoreline as we saw in this fixture last year at Hume City. The other one was a 5-2 win, an away win for Hume on that occasion. Losing the ball, Newman Ali. Oh, Chiang. Thought about blazing away, and, well, the paint wasn't there. It actually did take a Moreland touch, though, so it will be a Hume ball.
That Michael Sasides second yellow, red card, just shows how important the defensive discipline is in such an attacking league like NPL Victoria. There's actually a moment just before that penalty was conceded where he allowed Bingham to push on through as he had pull out of the challenge. Just highlights the importance that his teammates, the likes of Cuba and Sands, who also find themselves on a yellow, have to walk the tightrope for the remainder of the contest. With Moreland down a man, little room for mistakes. They want to try and get themselves back into this contest. They've got a mountain to climb as Hume make yet another change. Bosdugan about to enter into the fray. +85 appearances for Umut Bosdugan in Hume City colours as Oscar Carlson makes way. Bosdugan had 19 appearances with the 1 assist last year. Struggling for consistent time in the midfield with the plethora of options they have at their disposal. Experienced head and a valuable player for David Chick to bring off the pine. When Moreland will look to make some changes themselves. The likes of Paiakano, 66 goals for Moreland over his career, the second most NPL appearances for the club. Chianta, Miley, Toro all waiting in the wings. Bingham looking to bring it to ground, ball bobbling around. Weir feeds Isgrove. Got A-Rob to deal with. Deflected ball comes out in the path of O'Kane. Lays it off for McFarlane. It looked on target. Crucial interception there from the captain, Corey Thomas.
Caught Condoline's attention, that's for sure. He went full dive. It was blocked on the way through, of course. Just looking at the replay now, and Condoline was very, very quick to attempt to make the save had he have needed to. We've got a corner instead. Hume City up a goal and up a man. Michael Tsitsides seeing 2 yellow cards this evening. Second of which resulting in a penalty. Seen 2 penalty kicks this evening. 50% strike rate with those. Moreland City missing one very early in the piece. Cheap foul given away here. Haven't yet seen a change from David Ostajic. There is a couple of potential subs warming up as we speak. We may see Curtis Miley soon for Moreland. Getting his final instructions now. As Dugan gets a touch. A new man out there for Hume. Looks like Dean Waters will be the man to make way for Curtis Smiley. Maricic. McFarlane. The run being made on this right side now. Weir's inboard ball for Abdallah. Has to retreat back to Weir. Bosdugan. Ochieng. Now Ascroft. Sustained possession, this one for Hume. Played out toward Isgrove.
Isgrove onto the path of O'Kane. Lays it out in front of Ochieng. Right back, finds himself all the way final third of the pitch. His cross goes over the head of Bingham, and now some open pasture. Moreland look to break the other way. Spall trying to feed it through, well read there by Lockie Weir as he tried to find Sands. most pleasing aspects of Moreland's play tonight. They've been pushing forward and looking to use Hume's weapon, I guess, against them. That intimidating press through the midfield, just whether they'll be able to continue that to the same extent now. They're down a man. Look to be sitting back a little bit more defensively, despite being down the goal. Have to show courage and be clean with the ball at their feet to try and overcome this one-man deficit that they have. Abdallah on the ground once again. He might be suffering from some cramp. Saw him stretching out his calf just a few moments ago. With those Australia Cup clashes happening, extra workload on the players, as Moreland will make their first change for the evening. It's going to be 18-year-old Curtis Miley who comes into the contest. Dean Waters might be the man making way. Curtis Miley, formerly at the Clarence Zebras in Tasmania. Exciting prospect through the midfield. Picking up some valuable minutes inside the final 13 and a bit minutes. Fresh legs looking to try and find the decisive blow for the visitors. Worked hard to get themselves back to a 2-2 scoreline before that penalty that Isgrove dispatched. Put the hosts back in front once again. Hume looking to continue their bright start to the season. A win here would put them in just behind South Melbourne at the top of the table. They'll be battling with the likes of Heidelberg and Oakley. They've also had a strong start to their 2024 campaign. Sands spinning away from Ashcroft. Goes right, goes left, tries on the right foot to curl it around at the far post. Just couldn't get the whip that he was after to try and curl that one in past Jackson Riley.
Ape Kuno also about to come on for Moreland. There might be an adjustment to what the planned substitutes were. David Ostertich just trying to sort all that out with the fourth official. Lazaros Pantelides, the fourth this evening. So tails up at the moment for the undermanned Moreland. They'll retain possession here, Targeth. We'll get the substitution, or a potential substitution before the throw. Assistant referee actually telling Shalis Nartis, no, just let play continue for the moment. The sub's not ready just yet. So we continue. Contact in the area. I think it was Sands who took that heavy contact. Play will stop. And looking down on the sideline, Akuno still waiting to come on for Moreland. He'll get his chance now.
Akuno bringing plenty of experience off the bench. 3 goals for Moreland last season. Like I touched on, 66 goals in his Moreland career. They were hoping he can wind back the clock and land a decisive blow here this evening to try and rescue a point. So it's Targeth that makes way. Scored his first goal of the season in the first half. Ball sent through, covered at the back there by Thomas. Sends it back the other way, volleyball style. Kano was sandwiched in between 2 Hume City players. Now Isgrove. Bosdugan, slightly heavy touched. See the fresh legs of Akano in full effect right there as he looked to apply the pressure You'd have to imagine Hume City's style of play. It won't be to try and defend this 1-goal lead. Best kind of defence is by scoring more goals. They've shown that already this season. O'Kane. Abdallah. Well defended there by Ali. Wins that battle, but just got his wires crossed there with Fulton. Bailed out by the free kick given away by Hume.
Still plenty of time. Moreland's backs are against the wall here. Targeth. Sands was working sideways, had no chance to launch an attack on goal. Ball just ricochets back in toward Weir. Ball's Dugan. Kept it along the ground out toward Bingham. And Arob for company. It will be a Hume ball. Bingham a little slow to get up.
Just felt as though Sands, I should say, should have hit that first time when he knocked it in front of him. Going laterally. Allowed the Hume City defence to recover. Saw Abdallah's goal to give Hume a 2-1 lead. You feel as though Moreland will need to find their own little moment of magic.
Okay, can we run in behind?
Watching McFarlane's pass, poked free there by Cuba. Fulton on the spot, brought down there by McFarlane. Knew exactly what he was doing by bringing fellow youngster to ground. Fulton was working his way into a dangerous position before McFarlane has come on as a substitute. Brought him to ground, but as a result, free kick in a dangerous area.
And that's when he looks at a set piece this evening. Plenty of corners, but not many of these sorts of scenarios. What can Moreland conjure up here? Diego Cuba will be the man. Two-man wall. Pressing ball. Easily dealt with in the end. Abdallah. The poise just to hold things up. Tried to feed it out toward Ochieng. Ricochets up in the air. Fulton. Scored both of the Moreland City goals in this fixture last year in that 3-2 win for Hume. Josh Bingham also scored twice that night. This is Thomas. We've got the same scoreline at the moment, 3-2 Hume. Got some time for Moreland to snare what would be their first points of the season in NPL Victoria. It's going to fall to Newman Ali. Cuba working on Ochieng. Can't quite target Fulton. A foot race with Weir, who gives away the possession.
Interestingly there, Lloyd Isgrove just pointing to David Chick, saying to be substituted. Might have picked up a slight complaint as we head inside the final. We're inside the final 10 minutes. So with the 1-goal lead, we'll yet to be seen whether Hume will take off their super signing. Came across from formerly at Southampton, Barnsley, Swindon Town, Bolton Wanderers. It'll be Mehmet Usul who will come into the contest should the Welshman make way. At the moment, Hume have more pressing matters with Moreland on the attack. Whips in a dangerous ball at the far post, and it was a chance for Ali. He had an open look at the ball at the far post. golden opportunity that was for the visitors.
Just plain missed it, didn't he? That was a huge chance that's gone begging for Moreland City. At this point, desperate just to get a point on the board. 7 attempts so far, all for nothing. And time will become the enemy. This play continues here. Ersel will get his chance to come on now. Isgrove is right there, ready to call it a night. Lloyd Isgrove goes from 4 goals to 6 on his season tally in the opening minutes, and then 7 minutes after the hour mark from the spot. A goal in each half for Lloyd Isgrove this evening. This is Maricic. Weir tried to get Ersel involved immediately. Only a handful of minutes left. There's been another booking. Has it? Simon, can we confirm who that might be?
Just looking at over across the Hume City Stadium, just let's see which player was put into the book. It might have been Matty Spall. High boot there. And Spall hit the deck.
Come on back.
So Mima Usul, who's come through the under-23 system at Hume, had 7 appearances last year, 1 assist to his name. Some valuable minutes for the youngster. Some big shoes to fill. Lloyd Isgrove, 2 goals tonight. Both Isgrove and Abdallah just 1 goal behind leading goal scorer Harry Sawyer in the NPL Victoria competition. David Chick with plenty of options moving forward when not 1 but 2 of your players are pushing for top goal scorer honours this season. Cuba assessing options, forced to retreat to his captain Thomas. Thomas, the most appearances for Moreland. Wearing the captain's armband. It's now Cuba looking to increase the intensity. Here's the youngster Miley. Ali thought about going from range, brings it onto his left foot, drags it wide. Dugan heads it only as far as Miley, wins it back once again. Now Spall. Cleared away by Maricic. O'Kane. Miley looking to feed it through. Moreland sitting on their heels. Bingham wrestling for it. Usul went up to try and collect. Eventually the foul going the way of Moreland. So it will be 3 minutes of added time. 3 crucial minutes for Moreland to try and salvage their first point of 2024. Fulton pulls it down nicely, plays it across, and just the heavy touch. Stripped free of possession there by Abdallah. Doesn't have to look to have too much tank left in the gas left in the tank, I should say, as Oching skips free. Usul calling for on this left-hand side. Oching still going all on his lonesome. Pass 1, pass 2, lays it off. O'Kane looking for a goal. Crucial interception there by Thomas. Oching did all the hard work. Perhaps took 1 turn too many. There's the 3 minutes added now. Moreland desperate to find their first points of 2024. Fulton looking to weave past McFarlane. And now Hume bring it back the other way. Both teams out in their feet. Otching. Sloppy with possession, just trying to chip his way through. Picano. The substitute for Moreland. Whips in a dangerous ball, but only goes all the way through to Jackson Riley.
Who very elaborately falls on top of the ball after taking the catch. Shouts of 2 minutes coming from the Hume City technical area. 2 more minutes to hold on to a 3-2 lead. A seesawing battle. No team has scored consecutive goals this evening. And the extra man is really helping Hume at the moment, and the run is being made inside the area. Will there be a cutback option for O'Kane? Doesn't come off in the end. This might not be the last chance for Moreland, but it's definitely one of the last chances they'll have. The youngster Miley gives it up too easily. And Maricic will just sit on it as long as he can. O'Kane. Miley looking to make amends. O'Kane emerges. Otching. Simon mentioned players out on their feet. Otching made that huge run and had to follow up not long after that. He's one that's put in a lot of Ks in those legs this evening. Here we go. This may be that last chance for Moreland. Long ranger intended for Thomas. Goes up the chimney. Otching, while on the ground, tried to clear out, and it was actually very effective in the end. Midfield ball. Miley couldn't control it. Bingham out to space. And precious seconds will keep ticking off the clock.
Both sides utterly exhausted. Time now the enemy for Moreland. They have fought extremely hard this evening as the full-time whistle sounds. They didn't have it all their way, but Hume City pick up a valuable 3 points, and despite a strong effort from Moreland, they come away empty-handed. 2 goals to Lloyd Isgrove and Amir Abdallah. Spectacular finish. The 3 goals for the hosts, while 2 goals scored by Jose Sands and Tajith in the first half for Moreland. Moreland, they battled away, especially in the midfield. Went toe-to-toe with the more fancied opponents of Hume. Left absolutely, utterly gutted, coming away empty-handed. And for Hume, not their prettiest performance, but one that matters just as much as they look to continue to jostle for spots at the top of the table. So for Moreland next week, a big test when they take on Manningham. What will be a crucial fixture for their season. They'll be without Michael Sasides, who picked up a red card, shown his second yellow in the second half. That man advantage that Hume had ultimately proving beneficial in the closing stage as well for Hume. They'll look to try and keep things going when they take on Dandenong City at home once again. We thank you for your company here this evening, and we look forward to bringing you more action in round 9. Thank you and good night.